Our topic is the auditing the human resource program. In this highly competitive world, improvements in the delivery of services are very crucial to the success of the organization. Improving the HRM program is one concern with the organization can reap benefits. An improvement may be translated into achieving administrative efficiencies, which are important factors in sharpening the competitive edge of businesses. One way of determining efficiency and effectiveness of the HRM program is through audit. Findings derived from the exercise will provide clues on how the organization can better achieve its objectives. So, nata the HRM program audit and its advantages. When properly implemented, an audit of the HRM program will provide the following advantages. First is, if human resource is used as a primary competitive weapon, an audit will pave the way for full utilization of its potential. Second, an audit paves the way for opportunities as follows. Evaluation of the HRM functions of planning, recruitment, selection, training and development, etc. Ensuring continuous improvement of HRM activities, ensuring compliance with laws, policies, and regulations, improving the quality of the HR staff, promoting change and creativity, focusing the HRM staff on important issues, and bringing HRM closer to the line managers. When auditing is done on a regular basis, some valuable lessons may be learned, and these may be used to improve the design of the audit instruments. So let's proceed to conducting the HRM program audit. An audit may be conducted by company personnel or external consultant. The advantage of the insider is that he is familiar with the company and is in a position to determine which HRM function or activity requires evaluation. Internal auditors, however, are most often confronted with an organization environment not conducive to audits. Employees may anticipate changes when adults are made and fear that changes may not be good for them. In this case, resistance is more likely. So, the internal consultant will have the advantage of being more objective, as the pressure about maintaining relationships is non-existent or will be minimal if it is present. If an insider is considered to perform the audit, it may be undertaken by any of the following. 1 is the organization's chief executive, 2 the organization's HRM, or 3 the organization's HR research department. Next, let's proceed to the procedure in the audit. So the audit process consists of the following steps. Ang kinunhan is selling. The idea of the audit to internal customers, which are actually the various of departments in the organization that will benefit from the exercise. A very crucial objective of this step is to get the commitment of top management. So, ang kinunhan ko no kananay selling of the idea of the audit sa mga kanang internal customers, which are actually the various departments in the organization. Next is organizing the audit team by selecting members with a broad range of skills. Training must be provided whenever required. Ang ikaduhang na step is kanang mag-organize sa mga team sa pamaagi sa mag-select of mga members. Next is the gathering relevant data from various organizational levels. Fourth is the preparing the audit report. Fifth, evaluation of the audit report by the HR department and line managers. Sixth is the discussing the audit report with operating managers. 7, preparation of the operating managers evaluation of the audit report. And the last is incorporating corrective measures into the organization's subsequent planning activity. So we have here the areas of auditing concern. Na itulo ka areas sa auditing concern. First is the measuring compatibility with organizational goals. The organizational goals and objectives are set by top management, and these provide overall guides in the setting of HR policies and procedures. The HR audit must indicate the extent at which the HR objectives are met. The audit must be able to identify also the specific areas needing improvement. Second is the determining compliance with laws and regulations. Laws and regulations are really meant to be observed and followed, or the organization will have to worry about their consequences of doing otherwise. Normally, the organization will establish a system that will take care of compliance. Consequently, there is a need for top management to know how the various units are implementing the requirements for compliance. Third is the evaluating performance of HR programs and functions. The various areas of HRM are expected to perform specific assignments which complement one another in meeting the overall objectives of the HR program. It is necessary that the performance audits of the different HRM areas be made. It is possible that one or more areas may not be performing according to standards. Under such circumstances, the audit assumes a very important role.
Good day, everyone. So my topic for today is all about indicators of the quality of work environment. HRM plays a major role in maintaining a good environment conducive to good performance. There are certain indicators which may be used for the following purposes. So first, to determine the quality for work environment. Second is to assess the performance for HR functions. So there are the four types of indicators. First is employee turnover rates. Second is absenteeism rates, occupational injuries and illnesses, employee attitude surveys. So employee turnover rates refers to the movement in, to and out the organization by the workforce. The stability of the force is indicated by that movement. A high employee turnover rate is disadvantageous to the organization of for it affects the organization overall efficiency. High turnover can be attributed to the following. So first is low compensation. So compensation is na topic naman sa other chapter. The second is faulty hiring practices. The second is poor management that leads to low employee morale. So here an example of formula for turnover rates, computing employee turnover rates. To determine the turnover rates of the organization, the following formula may be used. So TR is meaning is turnover rates, and then the number of separation during the year divided by total number of employee at mid-year times 100. So for example, if there were 65 separation during the year and the total number of employee at mid-year is 1996, the turnover rate is computed as follows. So turnover rate equals 65 divided by 1996 times 100 equals 100, so equals 3.25%. So 3.25% is kanang mo na siya gitawag og the separation percent for the whole year. So turnover rates or so 3.25% is the turnover rates for the whole year. So turnover rates indicates the effectiveness of HR programs. The rate becomes more meaningful when compared with the rates on other year or rates of other similar business. Absenteeism refers to the frequency by which employees are absent their work when this rate is high. It may be an indicator of poor employee morale and the failure of HR program. However, no amount of motivation, financial of otherwise can eliminate absenteeism entirely, as there are un, unavailable unavoidable unavoidable circumstances like sickness, accident, family problem, and others. So here's another example of computing for absenteeism rates. Number of worker days lost through job absences during the year over number of work days by times 100. For example, a company lost 16,000 worker days through job absences during the year. The average number of employee was 1,000 and the number of work days of the year was 320. So absenteeism rate equals 16,000 over 1,000 times 320. So ang equivalent ana ay ang result ana is times pa nimo 100, so equals 5%. So 5% of the absenteeism rate for the whole year is 5%. So reducing absenteeism, even if absenteeism cannot be totally eliminated, it is worthwhile to adopt measures to reduce it. So a high rate of this one is occupational injuries and illnesses. A high rate of injuries and illnesses in the workplace affect product. It is imperative that accidents and illnesses be reduced, if not eliminated entirely, through the adaptation of applicable measures. So IR is an incident rate, and NII means number of illnesses and injuries. THWAE, total hours worked by all employees by the year. Next is TNWE, means total number of work employed. Next is THWW, total work per week, total hours of work per week. So the last is TNWW, which means is total numbers of week of the work for the year. So mo yung formula, no? NII divided by THWAE. So it times total hours of work by all employee for the year, and then it times na po sa total number of the workers employed imo na pong itotal sa hours of the work per week, and the last is imo times sa total number of the work for the year. So here's the example. Company employees work 100 workers. The total hours of work per week is 48 hours. And the total number of week work for a year is 50. So 50 weeks. The total number of illness and injuries for the year is 10. The total hours worked by all employees for the year is 2,112,000. So the incident rate is 10 this is the number of illnesses and injuries divided by the work by all employee of the year is 2,112,000 hours times 1,000 times 48. So 48 this is hours of work per week. So times 50 for the number of week work for the year. So ang result na is 11.28% ang incident rate for the whole year. So the incident rate in the company is a certain period may be made more meaningful if compared with the IR for the same company for the past years. It may be also useful to compare the IR data of the company with that of other companies in the same industry where the company belongs. So that's all, and thank you.
Good day everyone, I am Christian Arsimbahon, and in this topic we will tackle about the employee attitude surveys, analyzing the audit findings, and change and acceptance in implementing HR programs. So here first, we will tackle about the employee attitude surveys. So when there are employee attitude problems, management needs to determine the presence of attitude problems. That specific concerns are: first one is those that relate to the job. Second, the effectiveness of supervision. The third one is communication, compensation, training and development, and special organization concerns. So these three reasons that we can define the employee attitudes. So MOAS, management options in attitude surveys. So here are some options to determine the employee attitudes. Management has the following options. Number 1 is designing an organization-specific survey. Number 2, using commercial questionnaires. Number 3 is interviewing. So these three is effectively an option for managing the attitude surveys. So next one is analyzing the audit findings. The quality of work environment has been collected as analyzing of the findings in order. So it will help management determine the appropriate moves to make in analyzing the findings. Several approaches are available. So analyzing the audit findings, here are some several approaches in ADF or analyzing the audit findings. So first one is compare the company's HR program with those of successful organizations. It means comparing the company programs or HR programs, and the best is those successful organizations. So second one is use HR consultants, behavioral science findings, or an HRM textbooks as basis for audit. So it is also an effective approach in analyzing the audit findings to use the HR consultant's behavior science or making a basis for HRM textbook. The third one is use some tactics or averages such as the ratio of HR budget to employees. The fourth one is determine if HR managers and staff comply with policies, procedures, and rules. So, basing on determining the HR managers and staff comply with policies, procedures, and rules, basing in policies and procedures and rules. The last one is use of management by objectives in the HR department and systems types of audit. So that's the some approaches in ATF or analyzing the audit findings. So last one topic is change the acceptance in implementing HR programs. So the implementation of HR programs involve initiating changes in many aspects. To be successful, HR programs needs to be accepted by management and employees. It is expected, however, that management and employees will not accept change easily. So this is the classified as follows: the obstacles that HR management HR programs so this is of the obstacles that classified by management and employees. So first one is perceptual blocks, which consist of inability to define the real problems. So perceptual blocks is from the word perceptual, percepting. So it means that you lack of precisions or perspective in defining the real problems or the major problems. So the second one is emotional blocks. Emotional blocks consisting of the fear of risk-taking, the incapability to tolerate uncertainty, and the tendency to prejudge. So emotional blocks is that consisting of the fear of risk-taking. From the word risk-taking is that you don't have the ability to risk or to take a risk. So in this case, the incapacity of tolerance, uncertainty, and tendency of the prejudge is also obstacles. The third one is cultural blocks. Cultural blocks consisting of the tendency of stick to tradition and refusing to engage in creativity and imagination. So from the word culture, it means that it only bases from the past and afraid to evolve or something, create a new unique imaginations. So these of the obstacles may hurdle the HR programs, because we also meant to create something new to make better options. So the fourth one is organizational blocks. Organizational blocks consisting of lack of support or backing from the top management and centralized non-participant organization. So from the word organizational blocks, organization, so it must have the source of the organization. So hurdling and the lack of support of top management is also the obstacles in HR programs, because supports of the top management is very important in making in HR programs. Lastly, cognitive blocks arising from the use of incorrect language, and the lack of correct informations. So that's it. Hope you learned something in this video. Once again, good day.